This is The Brain Truth with Allison Jordan. Repent, renew, reclaim. And now your host, Allison Jordan.
Hey, good evening, Brain Joes, and welcome to another episode of The Brain Truth with Allison Jordan. This is episode, what's the episode? 2.17. Woo, I'm so happy that today is going to be about women and our brains, because my brain is like really mushy today. And so earlier, we're celebrating National Mental Health Awareness Month, and I told everybody to wear green, and I went and I ordered all these like beautiful green shirts. I was so proud of them, and green earrings. And then when I put the green stuff on, everybody, I forgot I had a green screen. So right before the show, I had to like hurry up and change. Chris was not having no image. She was like, I don't care, get it together. You have 5 minutes to get it together. Use your priorities well. And so yeah, I had to put back on my red. But for everybody who wore green today, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. So happy Mother's Day to everybody. We just came off of Mother's Day on Sunday. And I just have some news right now because I'm sitting here and I'm moving around because I wanted to show y'all. Y'all know that Bendy's always in here with me. So everybody, here's Bendy. And in honor of Menses, what's the show today? Menses, Motherhood, Menopause, and Mental Health. Guess what, everybody? Bendy is preggo. So Bendy's gonna be a mommy. Her little dress is coming off. Bendy's gonna be a little mommy soon, like too soon. Because I took her to the doctor and I didn't realize that dogs only are pregnant for like 60 days. So I'm not even prepared. I don't know what to do. I heard we have a doctor here, OB-GYN. I hope that she can help me, even though she's not a vet, but I don't know. When you ask medical doctors, be like, I am not a dog animal doctor. Okay. So anyway, all right, everybody. It's a lot of stuff going on. So I am going to get right into it. So The Brain Truth with Allison Jordan. You can find us on Amazon Music, Spotify, Podbean, Google, anywhere you listen to your podcasts. Okay. And you can also reach us here every Tuesday at 7:30 at thebraintruth.com. And of course, you don't have to just hear us here, but you can hear us on Facebook and on YouTube. And I need YouTube subscribers. I think we can change that because I think I'm like at one. I think I'm more than that now, guys. On just like 30 weeks, we got over 1,000 subscribers. So we just want to keep telling you guys to share and go to The Brain Truth with Allison Jordan on YouTube and like us. I think we got more, Chris. We got way more than that now. Okay. And so also we are Amazon affiliate. So if you guys want to buy anything on Amazon, you can go to our website at thebraintruth.com and purchase things, and then we get money for it. Yay. So not only do you hear me every Tuesday here at The Brain Truth, but you can catch me every Sunday on 106.3 FM. That is 106.3 FM, Chicago's R&B, as I co-host the AC Green Show, noon to 4 p.m. Also, you can catch me at 1 o'clock on Inspiration 1390 during the week. Okay. All right. So now, if you want to be a part of the Brain Rain Spotlight, so this is a better way that I can sell this now. We're actually going to be partnering with the AC Green Show. So if you have a business that you want to be featured on the Brain Rain Spotlight, you can be featured here or you can be featured on 106.3 FM. So how do you find out about it? You can go to thebraintruth.com, shoot us an email or hit us up on Facebook or Instagram, and you can be featured. You can like come to the show every Sunday at the radio station and we can talk about your business. But you guys got to have integrity. You have to have the infrastructure. We had a company and we blew it out the water. We promoted this company and he called us and said, I had like 200 calls. I didn't know it was going to be that many. Huh? I'm sorry. 200 calls. You had too many calls. We only have 1.8 million viewers and listeners cumulatively. You're going to get blown out the water. So we want to help these businesses. Everybody's coming out of the pandemic and everybody needs some marketing, and we want to just help people with their business. A lot of entrepreneurs. So if you're watching, share this video, tell people, hit us up on thebraintruth.com. Okay. All right. So Braingels, I also want to tell you about traffic control. Now remember, traffic control happens every hour. Every week I explain to you guys what traffic control is. Traffic control is a way for you to recalibrate where you are. Since we talk about our mental health, it's great if you put in your phone right now at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, every single hour, stop for 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, take that cleansing breath, figure out what you were going to do, what you were thinking. Were you going to like snap out on somebody? Were you struggling somewhere? Were you feeling a little down? That's your opportunity to decide, kind of like recalibrate your body, find out what's going on, and just bring it up, bring that vibration up. It's just going to help you. And if you do it long enough, like now, I've been doing it for a couple of years where I don't even have to look at my phone. I don't even have to look at the alarm because my body is sort of accustomed to know like it's about an hour. Okay, don't go in there and snap out on that person. My body's just going to make me not snap out on you. So at 8 o'clock on the top, even if we're in the middle of a conversation, an interview, we do pause for traffic control. So you'll see it come on the screen, and that's going to be our chance to kind of stop and recalibrate, see where we're at. Okay, we're going to do it all together. Got it? All right. Okay, so also we want to make sure that you have your pen and your paper, or you screenshot things, because here at the Brain Truth, we throw a lot of information at you, and we have to make sure you're getting this and you're writing it down and you're keeping notes, because we want this information to be valuable to you. We spend a lot of time producing these shows and getting great guests, and we really don't want you to miss it. Okay, so remember that. Okay, so let's start with our breaking news. So, Roe versus Wade. I know everybody's been paying attention to this on the news. So what is Roe versus Wade? It was a landmark decision of the U.S. Supreme Court in which the court ruled that the Constitution of the United States protects pregnant women's liberty to choose to have an abortion without excessive government restriction. The decision struck down many U.S. federal and state abortion laws. Roe fueled an ongoing abortion debate in the United States about whether or to what extent abortion should be legal, who should decide the legality of abortion, and what the role of moral and religious views in the political sphere should be. Nearly half a century ago, Roe versus Wade secured a women's legal right to obtain an abortion. The ruling has been contested with ever-increasing intensity, dividing and reshaping American politics. And yet, for all its prominence, the most profoundly connected to it has remained unknown: the child whose conception occasioned the lawsuit. Roe's pseudonym, this is who Roe is, was Jane Roe. She was a Dallas waitress named Norma McCorvey. Wishing to terminate her pregnancy, she filed suit in March 1970 against Dallas County District Attorney Henry Wade. That's Roe versus Wade, challenging the Texas laws that prohibited abortion. Norma won her case, but she never, check this out, she never had the abortion. On January 22nd, 1973, when the Supreme Court finally handed down its decision, she had long since given birth and relinquished her child to adoption. So the person who actually started Roe versus Wade never even had an abortion. Didn't know if you knew that. The Supreme Court issued a 7-2 decision in McCorvey's favor, ruling that the due process clause of the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution provides a right to privacy that protects a pregnant woman's right to choose whether to have an abortion. It also ruled that this right is not absolute and must be balanced against government's interests in protecting women's health and prenatal life. Today, that freedom is at risk. So if you've been paying attention to the news, the hottest thing on the news right now, the justices held their final arguments of the current term, I think like a little bit early on last week. The court has set a series of sessions over the next 2 months to release its rulings. So, according to Planned Parenthood and Action.org, what's going to happen if Roe versus Wade is overturned? 26 states could quickly move to ban abortion. Some of these states have policies that can ban abortion immediately. Others are led by lawmakers who are hostile to abortion and have a history of passing abortion restrictions. 36 million plus many others who can become pregnant are at risk of losing abortion access. So I don't know if you're for abortion, if you're not, but this is something, that's going to affect women everywhere. This includes 5.7 million Hispanic or Latino people or women, 5.3 million Black women, and 1.1 million Asian. And so it's a big deal. So that's that. Okay. So let's get to our sponsors. This is a hard moment for me right now because we need sponsors. I don't know. We do a lot of work. We're talking about mental health, and people, it's just a stigma. People do not understand that we need money to put this information out. And it makes me want to get a little emotional because I do festivals. Everybody knows I produce everything. I can get money for somebody to get on stage or, dance, shake their butt. But we need sponsors to continue to talk about this new pandemic, which is mental illness, guys. I mean, since the pandemic, we know what the numbers are. We know that mental health is at an all-time high, suicide ideation. We know that there is one therapist per 30,000 people who need it. We talked about the shortages of therapy all around the country. We talked about this stuff. How do we continue to do this work? And I have to pay for, between me and my amazing producers and staff, we have to pay for the streaming. We have to pay so you guys can get it. And I just have to stress that we really, really do need some sponsors. Okay. But I am very, very honored and humbled by the sponsors that we do, which of course is NAMI South Suburbs, which, as you know, I sit on the board, and we do have a fundraiser coming up because it's mental health awareness. I've been super busy. We have so much stuff going on with NAMI, but hot dogs for a hug, that's going to be integrated into our fundraiser, which is what we're doing this Saturday, May 14th. At Bremen Township Senior Complex. That's over in Oak Forest. And we're going to be giving away hot dogs. We've got a lot of behavioral health companies joining us, a lot of people if you want to promote your business there. But we want you to sponsor a hot dog for $5 to give to a kid. We've got a whole kid pavilion. And so we're going to give them a hug, and we're going to give them a hot dog and some chips and a soda. So that's our hot dog for a hug. Okay. Also, we have I think we have our Burgers for Blankets, which is coming up in October. Even though it's coming up in October, start getting your brains wrapped around it, because last year I think we collected 300 blankets. This year we want to collect 500 blankets. And so you can literally go email us at namisouthsuburbsofchicago@gmail.com. Screenshot this, guys, write it down. And if you want to donate a burger or you want to donate a blanket, for every blanket you donate, you get a free burger. And we have some participating restaurants that's going to be helping us with this. Okay. Also, of course, my amazing partner, River Edge Hospital. As you guys know, I actually stayed in for 19 days back in 2020. They have come on to be not only a sponsor, but like a strategic partnership. We've got a lot of stuff we're doing in alignment with them. And so we love you, River Edge Hospital. We love you, Brangels. And so we look forward to kind of unfolding what it is that we're going to be doing with them. Okay. But if you want to cash app me or the show, you can go to $The Brain Truth. That's $The Brain Truth. I could use a little bit of cash app. It'll help us a lot. Trust and believe me. Or you can go to our website at www.thebraintruth.com. That's thebraintruth.com. And you can go look under sponsors, or you can see how you can make a donation. Got that, everybody? We're all straight. I think I'm straight. Okay. Now I'm ready for the brain bit. Now, I did not do this brain bit, so let's get into it. This brain bit was literally sent to me on Instagram. And of course, laughter helps healing the brain. So every week we bring you the brain bit. So here we go. And it's fitting for women. I hope don't no man get mad at this. Okay. Once upon a time, there was a female brain cell, which by mistake happened to end up in a man's head. She looked around nervously, but it was all empty and quiet. Hello, she cried, but no answer. Remember, the brain cell is in a man's head. Is there anyone here? She cried a little louder, but still no answer. Now, the female brain cells started to feel alone and scared and yelled at the top of her voice, "Hello, is there anyone here?" And then she heard a very faint male voice far, far away. And he said, "Yeah, we're down here." Get it? Okay. We're down here. We're down here. Okay. Sorry, man. I didn't do this. This was sent to me by Jeremy Tyler from Homewood, Illinois. That was his joke. It was a guy. All right. So anyway, if you want to send me some brain bits, guys, you can always reach us at The Brain Truth on Facebook and Instagram, or you go to thebraintruth.com. Thank you. What was that, Jenny? I see you, Jenny. What did you say? Jenny, you do a great job. Hey, Francie, that's a brain gang. You do amazing at what you do, Allison. I'm here to help in any way. Cash App, Cash App, and a hug, and a hot dog. I don't know. Please help me. Please help me. All right, guys, let's get into our disclaimer. Okay. The Brain Truth does not serve the purpose of providing medical treatment or therapy services, diagnosis, prevention, or cure for any physical, mental, or emotional issue, disease, or condition. As a member of our audience, you agree that the Brain Truth does not assume liability for any physical or mental disease, condition, or issue, or any other type of loss or damage due to any information shared on our broadcast. Okay? All right, now I can literally put my laptop up because I ran out of ink, y'all. I said it's going to be calamity today, and glad it's about women. I ran out of ink. I was having a hot flash. I'm going to talk to the doctor about my hot flashes. And yeah, because I didn't have ink. I bought a whole bunch of ink off of Amazon. I have 3 printers, and I don't know what ink I bought, but it was for none of the printers that I have currently in my possession. So maybe I can sell that ink and make some money for the Brain Truth. Okay, so for the Brain Buzz, I did all this research. So for the Brain Buzz this tonight, which, as you know, is Menses, Motherhood, and Menopause, and mental health, I don't actually have to do the Brain Buzz because I have the bomb producers, and I want to give a shout out to my amazing team. Kim Spies, Angie, Mays, Franzi, who I see is watching, Krishana, Dr. Ivy, Dr. Gettings, who else? Krishana. Who else am I missing? It's a whole bunch of them. Kathy, Queen. So it's a lot. We have a team. We have a major team. But I just want to give kudos because I did all this research like I did because we didn't have a doctor. The doctor that we had to go on vacation. Another one, whatever. But they found an incredible doctor who's here with me tonight. I cannot wait to meet her. And it's just anybody that can get a call to come to something on the spot has got to be an extraordinary person. And so I just want to say that right away. And so I don't have to do the Brain Buzz because I'm going to bring these people in and we're going to talk about menses, motherhood, blah, 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 blah. So I want to bring in Dr. Gettings first so we can bring in these great guests. So Dr. Gettings, come on in, girl. Where's my Dr. Gettings? Where's my Dr. Gettings? Hi, Dr. Gettings.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, girl. So you got on your green.
Yes, I had to put on my
whatever. Green. Did you already have green or you had to buy some green?
I had some green.
Girl, you have everything. You look gorgeous. Did you see me in my green earlier though, before the calamity happened? Did you see my little cute little off the shoulder thing?
I didn't get to see it, but I wish I would take
a picture. I bought a lot of cute little green shirts from Shein, and I was really excited. I got green earrings. I'm gonna do with all that green stuff.
We have to figure this out, Allison. We cannot abandon all this green merchandise.
I'm gonna have to. Okay, so I have to ask Chris because I think I need a blue backdrop or something. Or, I don't know. No, you should have seen me. I am sweating like I hope y'all don't hear this fan because I had to bring a fan to put right under me. I found a blue sheet. I had called my neighbor and asked if they had a blue sheet. They were like, we had to take it off my bed. I was willing to ask them for it, but I was like, I'm done. I got busy lately. I just need This was like, let me think. You know what? I use my sheet. I was like, dang. So I was trying to do everything. I was going to sit outside since it's hot, but then I thought I was going to have a hot flash, but it was like, and so I had on this cute little dress, but then now I have on just a shirt.
It's
So I'm gonna have to get up and move because I just got on a shirt and have one look.
take responsibility for rocking the green today. I think we probably have some other people wearing green too.
I know, and I'm so happy that y'all, knew the assignment. And I even had Krishana change the little highlights to green, and you see my little Spotify, so I got my little green hat.
Yes,
Whatever.
on.
Okay, so Menses, menopause, motherhood, all of that. Dr. Gettings, mind blowing. The stuff that you sent me. Oh wow, hello, ladies. Dr. Tucson, healthy hugs. Hey. So there is a connection, and I can't wait to talk to the stuff you sent me. I can't wait to talk to our OB-GYN, just like the stuff I learned, just because I thought I was going to have to do that portion of it, about how it's all connected to the uterus and the endocrine. I think neuroendocrine or something.
Yes, you have it. You said it right. The neuroendocrine.
It's neuroendocrine system, something like that, girl.
Yes.
No mouth.
Basically, let's make that super simple. Just for the sake of this talk, the neuroendocrine system is the brain talking to the hormones and vice versa. This interconnected relationship between your brain and your hormones, because basically the brain and the ovaries talk all day. So
apparently they do. They be getting down. They be in there talking a lot of shit. Yeah. Okay, so I want to bring them in now. We got to get into this conversation, but I do want to say something, like, because you remember you told me when you saw my video that I took before they transferred me to River Edge Hospital, and I was in the emergency room, and I had videotaped myself. I'm going to be releasing that probably when we do the television version of the podcast. We're in pre-production, everybody, for a TV show for the Brain Truth. But you looked at that video and you clearly said to me what?
I said to you, with my clinical experience, viewing that video, you presented to me like someone who was also dealing with hormonal imbalances. That's what I said to you. I said, do you think that it's possible that the degree of your symptoms was in any way correlated with menopause? That's what I said to you.
You did. And thinking back, I'm starting to believe that. I'm going to send that video to our doctor today. I'm going to see if she can analyze it. And you just saw that just from looking at me and how I was acting. And
I did.
I wonder why they don't do those screenings then. Like, if they could. Well, we'll talk to her.
Yeah, for sure. But there are definitely
a lot.
There's a lot of limitations when it comes to trying to correlate an actual lab measure of estrogen at whatever time you may draw that lab with some of the symptoms, especially when we look at the cutoffs that we have kind of in standard medicine. So what I was saying to you at that time, because you were like, well, they checked everything,
they might not have checked that.
But even still, where are we missing some of those methods by which to confirm that a person's estrogen levels are actually the culprit, right? Maybe that's not always readily available. I'll just leave it there.
Okay. Well, we're going to get into it. So my first guest I want to bring on is, and I hope I say her name correctly, Kiman, please, Lord, I hope that's right, Forica Coons. She's the owner and founder and marriage and family therapist, which I know I got her from one of our Brain Gang, Francie, and we've all heard so many wonderful things about this lady. So I'm just honored that she is joining us tonight. Well, she says, I offer a place where your voice will be heard, a compassionate and confidential atmosphere to discuss personal concerns. She specializes in therapeutic assistance to anyone from all backgrounds, ages, and walks of life. Families, individuals, children, and teens who are encountering adjustment problems or experiencing psychological, emotional distress, such as loss, grief, sexual trauma, and crisis, depression, anxiety, and PTSD. Those are all my diagnoses. Somebody give me some free therapy tonight. And she's a licensed marriage and family therapist too. Oh, wow. And a certified mediator. I work with couples. Shut your door. Families, blended families, and individuals, as well as divorce and post-divorce mediation. by using a strong commitment and natural talent for working with people through difficult transitions, change, and other challenges. Through counseling and strategizing sessions, people can make differences in their own lives by assisting people in resolving their own conflicts while teaching them new and valuable approaches to conflict resolution, problem solving, and better communication. They learn to support themselves through very challenging transitions and conflicts in their lives. And she's a therapist at Family Strategies Counseling and Mediation, offering services to the Chicagoland area. And you can find her on Psychology Today, and we'll give all her information at the end of the show of how you can reach her. So come on in. Oh, I'm gonna give you some therapy. Hi. Oh my God, you're beautiful.
Oh, you're sweet.
You look like you're in a video or something like that. She looks cool.
Here we are. Yeah. Ta-da.
There's Dr. Getty. Now, did I say your name right?
It's Kim Ann, like Mary Ann or Sue Ann. But
Kim Ann. I said it. Okay, Kim Ann. So good to meet you. I heard so much about you from Francie. And I just want to say thank you for being here in this conversation.
And I'm grateful to be here. This is fun for me.
All your credentials fall right into my life. All of that.
In many people's lives, such as yours.
Yeah.
In many people, right? Yeah.
And so are you also getting hit with this shortage? I know we did a show about the shortage of therapists and clinicians. Are you just overwhelmed now? And
we are overwhelmed. We really are. But at the same time, we're just doing our best to do what we can. We have between inpatient, in where we're actually in the office, and then I got clinicians that are online. So we're just trying to get anything anybody needs at this point. Plus I have a playroom, because kids don't sit across from you and talk. So we have the playroom and conference rooms and excuse me. And so we have so much stuff. And because I specialize in trauma, primarily female sexual trauma, and some men too, but primarily that's what I discuss. So yeah, I'm telling you.
It's also a blessing that you're busy, because now that means more people are seeking to get mental health support, which is always amazing. And that's what we do here. We want to get people into counseling and therapy. Okay, so let's get in. Let me get the doctor in. I'm very excited about her as well. So Dr. Lakeisha, who's a physician, Dr. Lakeisha Webb McMillan was born and raised in Huntsville, Alabama. Okay. She earned her undergraduate degree in biology, cum laude. Do I say cum laude right, or is it cum laude? See, you can tell I'm not cum. Is it cum laude? Dr. Geddes, how do you say that? Cum laude? Cum laude. Okay, cum laude. From Oakwood College, now Oakwood University, and continued her studies at Loma Linda University School of Medicine. In addition to her academic degrees, Dr. Lakeisha is certified in the use of Da Vinci robotic system for minimally invasive laparoscopic surgery. Because of her passion for teaching, she was awarded the distinction of Resident Teacher of the Year in 2004. A gifted speaker, OBGYN, and hormone specialist, Dr. Lakeisha has a passion for helping women struggling with depleting hormones.
Absolutely.
Get their hormones balanced, regain mental sharpness, and have enough energy to last the entire day. Come on in here, Dr. Lakeisha. We need like a drum roll. Hi, Dr. Lakeisha. Oh my God, I'm so happy to meet you.
Oh my goodness, can I just say I love y'all? Oh my goodness,
we love you.
Totally love y'all. I've been sitting back here from the beginning, from the backstage where we got grounded and met it. I love it all. I am here for all of it, all the things.
Well, guess what? You know what I'm about to say, Dr. Gettings. We're going to recruit you as a brain gang member. And then you'll be coming on the show all the time. Don't get me started, honey. Yes, and then she has on green. And then has on green. Everybody has on green. Thank y'all.
Yes.
I have on red again. Okay. Red every week.
Great.
But anyway, okay, let's bring in Mama Fresh. Let's get us all in the room. So this is really exciting because Dr. Gettings, oh my God, I've been researching and following her. So her name is Jenny LaFleur, aka Mama Fresh, is here to create and ignite a diverse community where mamas are celebrated, connecting Chicago moms with events and support with focus on the community. In between exploring the city, drinking tons of iced coffee, and hosting events, you can find Mama Fresh at home watching Trolls with her toddlers and her husband. Mama Freshly picked Mama Fresh handpicks events for you and your family to enjoy. Come in here, Mama Fresh. I just like saying Mama Fresh, Mama Fresh, Mama Fresh, 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 Mama Fresh.
Hey,
Hey, Mama Fresh. Oh my
yeah.
God, your background is so dope. Like,
This is,
is it paint
this
or
is
like little stuff? What is it? Do you paint that?
no. So I will tell you that here in Chicago, our kids were in a hybrid situation. So sometimes my son would be at home doing school, and then sometimes he was in a classroom. So we created this area so when he was at home to be creative and all these things. It'll be going back to my office wall now that he's back in school. But yeah,
I
this
like
is
it though. It fits you like Mama Fresh. It just looks colorful. Okay,
Thank
everybody,
you.
we're stopping and pausing for traffic control. Doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that feel good?
I love
Just
that.
kind of recalibrated us. Y'all get into that. Traffic control. Thank you, Chris. Okay, so Mama Fresh, meet Dr. Lakeisha, Dr. Gettings, Key Man. We're going to talk about menses, motherhood, menopause, and mental health. And we got everybody here to talk about it. So I know Mama Fresh, I went to your stuff, I started following you, and you came up with this brilliant idea to sort of engage mothers to
Yes.
do things outside of defining yourself as a mother, like just for your mental stability. Is that so? Tell me a little bit about why you did it. What did this brilliant thing, where did that come from? Like, that's so dope.
So the thing is that everyone's journey to motherhood is completely different. I became pregnant with my first son. I was 35. So I was already living my life. I was already about town. I was very comfortable in the woman that I am. And I wanted to be an evolution of her. And I didn't feel like I had to put her on the back burner just to start my journey of motherhood. So Mama Fresh, because we are taking a fresh approach to what motherhood looks like. You know, my mom told me, oh, you're ready to have that baby. You're gonna be, he's gonna sit you down. You're gonna be out of the streets. That's not, I just took the stroller to the streets. So we just go
Okay.
introduce the same things, the same values are important to our family, culture, community, art, music. And we do all that thing through the lens of motherhood. And I found more and more that there were other women in the same situation. And so I'm just here to empower them.
So you create events and all the moms show up and with their babies,
That's
you're
it.
still embracing life. You know, a few years ago, one of my best friends, we had this brilliant idea. It was brilliant, but didn't work out very well. We had this idea called Circle of Mothers, right? Because we were always tired of talking about how we were both single mothers, like this man did. So we started to do our own visitation. Like, so I would have her kids for a weekend and shit. But then after a while, we're like, wait a minute. So we ain't gonna ever like hang out together. Every time you party and I got your kids and I'm partying, you got my, that's not working for me because we wanted to see each other. And we couldn't bridge other women into this philosophy of like helping us help each other, you know, and they want to be angry about the man not doing this and and we were just tired. We just found ourselves drinking wine and complaining about what these men didn't do. It was like, let's just do it for ourselves. Like, you know, so you really, that's a really good idea. And I want to really have you back and really just get some mothers and like really push that concept because I just talked to, I mean, where's our producer? Krishana, that's the biggest thing. She's a mother. She works, she does this show and she has these two beautiful kids and she needs that engagement, I think. So I think that's awesome.
You know, it's really leaning back on community. These are all things, especially as moms of color, that are generations before us. Motherhood was not meant to be done alone. Your grandmother never raised your parents in isolation. And so it's really a revolutionary act fighting against the individual system that everyone tells us that we need for success. And so it's falling back into that village, falling back into that community. And that gives moms rest. That gives you support and that increases the quality of your mental health.
Yeah.
Amazing. So Dr. Lakeisha, OB-GYN. So we're going to get into the guts of it, but I just want to find out about your practice and like what, you know, what are you doing? What are you finding out there as opposed to women and their bodies and their mental health? And, your everyday. I mean, your resume was off the chain. So
thank you.
you look
Wow.
12. So apparently you went to
I love
medical
it. I love
school and like very confused, but okay. I trust you a doctor. No. But tell me about, what you're seeing.
Oh my goodness, that is such a great question, Allison, because what I'm seeing is I'm seeing women slamming and not gliding into perimenopause and menopause. And I'm finding that because we have not had the talk 2.0, we've had the adolescent talk, we had the, oh, your body is changing talk, you're about to start the period talk, you have the, here are the pads, here's the section of the store that you go to. We have that talk, but we don't have the talk that says, hey, you're about to spend a third or more of your life in a situation where you won't have your hormones, where your body is going to change. You're going to wake up and look and say, did I miss a memo? Because I woke up in a body I don't recognize and I missed something. And so you're going to have to get some tools that you're going to have to be able to use for this new body to be able to start doing what you want it to do. And so I do have a concierge practice where I help women who are struggling with depleting hormones get their hormones balanced, regain their mental sharpness, and have the energy to last the entire day. I actually stepped away from traditional OBGYN about 11 years ago after having and experiencing my own kind of whirlwind of a slam just by life events. And I had to go and, take that step back and go, okay, physician, heal thyself first, go help anybody else. Boom. And started diving into the world of functional medicine, integrative medicine. And so that's kind of what I bring to the table now, is that I'm able to help women in a new and better way so that they can be able to show up and be able to give what they have to give and give that institutional knowledge because we have it, but then the body is not doing what it's supposed to do. So we're not able to just be present each and every day.
Exactly. Woo! So, okay. So we got, I can't wait. Okay. So Command, I just want to go to you really quick.
Okay. What do you want me to do? Quick.
in your practice, girl, do like this. No.
Okay.
In your practice, is this stuff resonating? Like you see women, and when you're doing clinician and work and therapy, do you ever say like, is there something else going on here that's beyond, it could be hormonal, it could be, burnout from being a mom. Is that something that you traditionally see in your practice?
Absolutely. You better, because they walk in, they say they're depressed, they say they're sad, they say all of, and everybody's telling them what's in their head. Well, your first check should always be hormones and thyroid. Always. That is your first thing you should check, because it makes them feel a lot better. Like, oh, well, okay, it's not my mind. I'm not losing my mind, because they really do come in and sit on my couch and cry like they're not themselves. Who the hell am I? But it's not only the body, but now when you look at the metaphoric start of this, their body is changing. It's no longer the same as what it was. And at that age, neither are their families. So now their families are leaving, and their children, what is left for them? Maybe they're suddenly getting divorced because they're no longer happy in this environment. All their kids are either in college or the service or trade school, whatever the hell they're in, right?
Yeah.
But everything is leaving them.
Yes, girl, yes.
And emotionally. So where are they? Where are they? And then we're not even talking about what happens to them as they get to this point where their life is changing on every single level. Where are we? We need to support them on so many levels. It's not just hormones, just thyroid. It's everything.
And I'm so glad, that wasn't said to me though. And it's just deep, because looking back, if you guys don't know my story, I had, 19 days in a River Edge hospital, who's now our partner. And now that I think, I was falling, like it was, like you said, leaving, like, my son was going, he was leaving, he was older. I didn't have any nurturing left for him. And, my husband, and it was stuff going on there. And it was just like, but nobody ever said that to me. Nobody ever. And then even now, if it wasn't for Dr. Gettings, like looking at the film and saying it, you need to take this, you need to take this, you need to drink. Even now, 2 years later, I don't think that I have my female stuff in order, because here's my thing, Command, like, even if you're doing, cognitive behavioral therapy or whatever kind of therapy, even if I get my body in order, because I was looking at something, Dr. Gettings, you sent to me with the lady who had postpartum, and she still, even though she addressed the postpartum and all the estrogen, but she still has to see therapy. Like, so it triggers this mental illness stuff, but I'm not like over it, even though I'm over it. Like, does that make sense? Am I making any sense? Anybody want to answer that or say something to that?
I will.
Absolutely.
I think when we came
or
up,
everybody can answer that. Okay.
Yeah, I just like to jump in and just say, while we're kind of focusing in this natural progression of the conversation on kind of menopause and that, we have to realize that from conception, because of our genetic makeup, we operate differently. Our brain is wired with a ton of receptors for estrogen. And throughout our life, we're going through these different periods where we are impacted by these cyclical hormonal changes, also known as your neuroendocrine system. And I think that we need to not only normalize this conversation, but educate, do a much better job with educating, because the question you're asking now is, well, what's the time frame? I mean, should I be better in a month, or, help me out? So at the end of the day, when you look at the perimenopausal period, menopause, postmenopause, it's stretched out, right? And I'm so interested and grateful that Dr. Lakeisha is talking about transitioning from Western medicine to functional medicine, because I've told you before, Allison, I feel like the standard Western medicine laboratory test that you would get on an inpatient unit at River Edge are not really going to give you a picture of what in the world your estradiol may be doing right now in your brain. Am I right, Dr. Lakeisha?
I am about to jump out of my skin. I really need y'all to know this. Y'all are just meeting me for the first time, so I hope that I get asked back. That I don't.
You are coming back. You're a Brain Gang member, girl. Bye.
Okay, because you are preaching to the choir director. Do you hear me? Because. So where should I even begin? So Dr. Getting, I actually just call it the menopausal phase of life.
Okay.
Because I feel that when we say post-menopause, we think we've gotten through something, we're over it, and we're going back somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, no, you're not. Like, things have changed. Just like when you went through adolescence and your body changed, you didn't go back to being a toddler, did you?
Correct.
No, you didn't.
No.
So now we have to now say, I tell my patients, like, you're in the menopausal phase of a life. Yes, we need definitions, because that's how doctors talk to each other. We talk in terms of definitions, and we know that there are diagnoses that need to be had. And so 12 consecutive months without a period is technically menopause. And when you go that next month with no period, month 13, then they usually say, oh, you're postmenopausal. And that can denote, oh, I'm done with. No, you're not. You're just getting started. Yeah. Okay.
Buckle up, boo.
Hello. Really, really. And I loved you talking about two things. I loved you talking about the neuroendocrine system, because I talk about that all the time. I say we need to connect the head back to the body, because everything starts here. And I love that Kim Ann is here, because we need to know that there is signaling that comes from here that makes everything happen down here.
Correct.
Okay? And then we're going to talk about these labs. So that's a whole nother conversation. That's just a whole big conversation where you're right. So lab values, we have conversations around, and we have interesting discussions in our world, because a lot of times you're sampling sick people in the reference ranges.
Correct.
So we have a lot of discussion around what should be normal for even thyroid, as measures, right? Come on. I'm glad you brought that up, because we need to understand symptomology as well as that's different than what's on a piece of paper.
Right.
And so you've got to treat the entire person. You've got to start looking and connecting all the dots so that you can see a clear picture. So
Yeah.
that I'm going to be quiet right now because I could go on and on
Because
and on.
because I was doing research and it was talking about the estrogen is high. I mean, the brain is high. So if I'm coming to you, Command, and I'm having so I went and you sent me to go get my blood work, and then I come back and I tell you, look, I got some stuff going on up and down there. How then are you treating me here and do therapy if I have that That's the confusion part, because it's like
confusing.
if it's something anatomical, am I saying that medical,
biological, functional,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Functional, yeah.
Right. How do you help me if it's biological?
Well, that's a great question. That's a great question, because really what happens is that we women are so connected to our bodies. You know how many women I talk to that say, oh my God, I have to have a hysterectomy. Can I have sex? I'm no longer a woman anymore, or losing their breast or whatever. It's incorporated into how they feel about themselves. Not only then, but what happened before. So if I've got a woman that was raped or molested or whatever, now I'm dealing with not only, of course, because trauma never goes away. That's a whole nother topic. But now not only am I dealing with someone who is traumatized, but now they're re-traumatized because it's their genital, it's all, everything combined. So now I have to kind of break it down and say, all right, tell me what makes this uterus so important to you. And the thought of no longer having a period, or the thought of thank God and hallelujah, I'm not going to have one.
Right. Okay.
In your head, where are you? How were you raised culturally about your period?
Right.
How are you raised culturally about, oh my God, now that this is starting, I can still get pregnant. And people tell them you can't. So there's a lot of education, psychoeducation, physical education, emotional education that comes into this. It's not just one and you're done. People put you on meds and say, go, you're on your way. I'm sorry, but that's bullshit. You got to come back and say, let's talk this through. And then to let them go. Yes, they see both wonderful, incredible doctors, and then the doctors can only do so much. And they're busting their ass doing everything to help. And then
Francie, I'm sorry, put that up where Francie said, whoever's in charge of that. Never mind, keep going. I'm sorry. She said, peace out, uterus. Thanks for the good times we had. Deuces.
Right.
Yeah.
But a lot of women don't feel that way.
Yeah. No. I think a lot of it too is cultural values and what we associate with womanhood. I like when Dr. Lakeisha, when she talked about that, when we talk about phases, we are very anxious as a culture to say things are over and done. So after a woman has a baby, so, you might even hear someone says, because we're having more conversation around postpartum anxiety, depression thing, you say, oh, she's postpartum. And that's not a short word for, we are all postpartum. Everyone that has had a baby, we are all postpartum. So, so I might have the baby blues. I might be done with this. And then we're like, are you done? Are you done feeling sad so we can be back in society? Are you done? Because we want you to go back to work. Are you done? So you were allowed, but now we need you to be finished. It's also saying these things that the emotions don't have as much value. So like Allison was asking, so if I have these emotions, but then I have functional symptoms as well, just Command telling me this is something that's connected to your body, this is not something you make up, makes me feel seen. So this might be the first time I'm seen, period. And now I'm seen by a medical professional, because I might be in a home where someone says, you're making this up, because they're comparing my journey to someone else. And that's when you get into the thing that, being a woman is not a monolith, is, and certainly not being a mother. Someone else just had a baby and she's fine. Why aren't you? And the thing is by feeling seen, by having these discussions, about us talking about the breadth of experiences that can happen throughout being a woman, is really validating what I am going through and validating my experience. And we cannot minimize how important that could be to someone, especially women, who could serve in a life and not be validated outside, but have to validate other people all the time.
Absolutely. Can I jump in? I just want
everybody jump in. This is a jump in session.
I mean, so I talk about you having a team. Okay,
Mhm.
so like you said, Allison, what happens when I do need someone to take care of the mental, like Kim Ann, but I still have something that's showing up physiologically? What do I do? And so I talk about, okay, who's on your healthcare team? Who's in your Department of Health for the U Inc.? Okay, so think of yourself as a business and you have a health department and you need it to be staffed.
Yeah.
So who is in that department? Do you have a therapist? Do you have a psychiatrist if needed? Do you have an acupuncturist? Do you have a functional medicine person? Like who needs to be on your team?
Right.
Who's in
And
your
that,
Rolodex?
yeah. And
Absolutely.
that's what I was gonna say, Command. Like, shouldn't y'all be working in a collaboration? Like, shouldn't it just be the way it is?
It should be,
It should
but
be.
it is. We have done
We're
such
divided
a
systems.
good job of dismembering the body.
Yes.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody takes their portion and just
Mm-mm.
looks at their portion with their blinders on
Yeah.
and learns all there is about their side, which I understand the body's complex. I mean, it's a beautiful and wonderful thing. And everybody can't know all the intricacies of each individual's part. But then we don't even talk to each other. And we feel that my section doesn't have anything to do with your section.
Girl.
Mm-hmm.
And
the
Yes.
thing is,
connected.
so
We
Dr.
are.
Lakeisha, what you're talking about, and this is a hot take,
Woo,
but I feel
child.
very comfortable, is that this is the true self-care. This is the self-care that we need to be talking to women. But since it doesn't make money, since it's not telling you to get a manicure, since it's not telling you to go and get a massage,
Yes.
this is not truly what we're talking about. But building this team that is individually supporting for you is the self-care that will save you, whereas
Yeah.
a $25 manicure won't. But
No.
this is the conversation that we, and
Girl.
this is the conversation I talk with mothers, but this is the conversation that we need to have about women if we truly want to have a conversation of self-care.
Yeah.
And
Think about it. Think about it. I'm sorry, Allison, think about it. You were put in the hospital for 19 days. At which
19.
point, no one said to you, I'm sure, because this is how the mental hospitals work. No one said to you, who is your therapist outside so that we can connect with them
No.
and say, what's happening here? It doesn't happen. When I hospitalize somebody for suicide ideation, I don't get to know. I know nothing. I can't even call and check. I can't do any of it. I can't call on my girls, my women who need me. I'm dealing with their traumas on a day-to-day basis for them, and I cannot get connection from that.
Because Kim Ann, that would be too much like right.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Exactly. Too
I
much.
think
I mean,
the
the reason I'm freaking here, guys, is because God used me. It was an assignment on my life. And my navigation to wellness, my desire to live and heal was how I pieced together all of this. And that's why I have what I call my brain game. And that's why we are doing the brain truth. It's because my healing took on the evolution of every piece that I needed. I needed therapy. I needed psychiatrists. I needed meditation. I became a yogi. I needed to watch my diet and I do traffic control so I can control my emotions, and all of that is playing into why I'm sitting here trying to tell people, like, I went on a search. I was there, and my psychiatrist in the hospital, he said, oh, so you're going to talk to me today? And I said, who are you? Never met you a day in my life. He said, I've been talking to you every day for 9 days. And that's when I went on my knees and said, God, when you get me out of here, I'm going to go on a search to find out what happened to my brain in those 9 days. And 2 years later, I'm still looking, but I'm learning as I go along every week on what could have happened, right? And so that's why these conversations to me, it means so much to me. You know, my passion and my drive to educate our brain-jels on this stuff, because there's some woman right now who, you know, is saying, am I crazy? Or I'm overwhelmed with this motherhood stuff and I'm this and I'm that, but you're not alone and you're not crazy and you're not, you know, mentally unstable. It's all combination. So I really, you know, Dr. Geddes, I really want you to just lay it out. I had all these fire off questions, but I already know, break down the brain and what's happening. And then Dr. Lakeisha, tell us about the body, and y'all just jump in. I don't even have any questions because I really want to be in. I don't want to be on the show. I want to learn on the show today. So I'm really just a brain-jel tonight because this happened to me and I still am trying to figure out what happened to me. you know, and it was hard, but I'm glad that it happened because something happened.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 55 years old. You know, I just went down and it went down fast.
Yeah.
It was no warning, you know. I have fibroids, I have, you know, all kind of, you know, female stuff was going on. I was having hot flashes, things like that. And I wasn't self-caring enough with understanding what to take, what not to take, what to do. So I want to save somebody who's perimenopausal or, you know, young motherhood, because what do we need to do to make sure we're getting our brains and ourselves in order?
So, such a gift. I'm sorry, Dr. I interrupted.
No, go ahead.
First of all, you need to know, Allison, that that's such an incredible gift to be able to give back, and at the same time to give a space to be able to talk.
Yeah.
And I know you probably go, oh, she's freaking crazy. The incredible gift of an awakening, like, crap, I need help.
Yeah.
Because until we say to ourselves, I can't do this anymore, I need help. We as women are very powerful people. And we know we are, but we don't ask for help.
Look at this.
Delegate.
Command, read this right now. Talk to this person right now.
Oh, yeah.
Do you see it?
How people with mental
I find it hard to understand how people with mental health issues talk so freely. What's wrong with me? You want to address that, Dr. Gettings, or command somebody?
I'll address it. I think, again, like Dr. Lakeisha said, we are in a system where we really separate, and we've forgotten that we're intertwined by design, is the way I like to say it. Like, nothing in your body works by itself. The thought of that is like laughable. But I think when it comes to brain health, and when we look at the stigma, your brain is so unique. It's got certain functions that are involuntary and other functions that are voluntary, and we're like stuck between what part of this is on me versus my body did it, and that's what makes it hard, because you can talk about, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are other diseases, if you will, that are stigmatized, like sexually transmitted diseases or cancer caused by smoking, right? It's kind of like, oh, it's your fault, you did it. Well, mental health kind of falls under that umbrella when we look at it in a lot of cases. Even looking at, there are three major specialties in medicine that deal with brain health. You've got psychiatrists, neurologists, neurosurgeons, right? A neurosurgeon may be going in to take the tumor out of your cerebellum. A neurologist is going to give you medicine for epilepsy. But as soon as you start talking about taking medicine because you're depressed, now the whole conversation kind of shifts. But to me, that is just a lack of knowledge and understanding. If you understand that there are two structures in your brain that have a huge role in how you feel and emotional regulation, then it shouldn't be that hard to conceptualize that if it's not functioning right, then I may present like someone who's emotionally unstable or crazy, as we like to call people, okay? And as a psychiatrist, I'm just going to say I'm totally frustrated with the limitations that we have to delve further into referrals that we get for individuals that, let's say, may have an hormonal imbalance that doesn't show up with the reference ranges that we've set, right? What do I now tell this person? How do I explain to them what they're experiencing? We all know that PMS is real. You hear people say things like, oh, she must be on her rag, or she, so we talk about it in our own terms, but what you're literally talking about is how a person's brain is being impacted by certain chemicals in their body. So to break it down anatomically about how the neuro and endocrine system do their dance, you have the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland, which communicate with your ovaries, and that entire system is responsible for your estrogen levels throughout your life. Estrogen is so important. Like, I can't emphasize it enough. And we know our brains as women are different because we are at higher risk for depression and anxiety. We're at higher risk for Alzheimer's. We're at higher risk for complications of a stroke. Our brains are built different, and that's okay if we know how to take care of it. Diet and lifestyle in America does not help a declining level of estrogen at all.
Mhm.
If anything, it exacerbates it. People who are overweight, people who do not eat balanced diets, who are eating a lot of processed foods, a ton of sugar, let me tell you what that does to the endocrine system. Tears it up. So how are you going to be emotionally stable when you ate Dunkin' Donuts for breakfast for the last, I don't know how long?
Ouch. Ouch. Ouch.
Keep it real, because at the end of the day, you can't expect your body to give you more than what the hell you give it. So you're going to get out what you put in.
Dr. Gettings, you are stepping on all the toes. All 10 of them. Ouch, ouch, and ouch.
Look, at the end of the day, too, I always emphasize to people who I work with, estrogen plays a huge role in serotonin, or some of those neurochemicals that we know have a role in how we feel emotionally.
Yes.
And you can take all the Prozac, all the Lexapro, all the sertraline that you want. If you've ignored this other problem, right? These other chemicals.
Yes.
Like literally, estrogen makes brain cells grow. It improves connections. When we lose our estrogen, a lot of changes in our body occur, not just in the brain, bone density, sex drive, sleep.
Yes.
Why can't you sleep when you're menopausal? The brainstem is responsible for that circadian rhythm. Your hypothalamus is responsible for your body temperature regulation. And estrogen is no longer talking to the hypothalamus. So the hypothalamus don't know what to do. And you why you sweating through your sheets. Okay, so all these things have biological reasons. We have to not only understand how it works, but we have to understand how to take care of our bodies as they go through these changes. Just like you teach your daughter, you're about to get your period. This is what you do to prepare. This is what you may feel. That's because estrogen is doing her thing, and she does it every single time.
So who is estrogen? Okay, so Dr. Lee, who is estrogen for real? Like, so when you start your period, tell me like from the day when I was 12 and my mama told everybody at the grammar school, Allison's a woman today. And so everybody was saying congratulations when I walked in. I have, and you know, when you carry your purse and you're in 8th grade, you know, you got some stuff in it. It was just so horrible. And then so when I asked the teacher to go to the bathroom, she goes, remember, Allison, you're a woman. You don't have to ask to go to the bathroom anymore. You can just go. And then I was going all day. And she said, okay, so you don't have to go all day. I don't think you need to change your, come here for a minute. It was like I was in Catholic high grammar school, and I wish my mama was watching. I don't know if that was good, because why is there a stigma with period if it's just what it is? You know what I'm saying?
So with the young girls, it's not. It's a culture shift.
It's like, what the heck?
I think that culturally that is changing.
So menstruation, tell us what menstruation is.
I talk about the big three. I talk about the big three hormones. I talk about estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, and how they play a role with each other. And so I tell women, think of estrogen as the hormone that makes the grass grow tall. So that's the one that makes the uterine lining like proliferate, get nice and fluffy, ready for an egg to come and plop down on that grass. Progesterone is in charge of the lawnmower system. So it waits around for a memo to see, was there an egg fertilized? There was an egg fertilized. Okay, guys, hold up. We can't mow the lawn this month. We got to hold up. And I got to make sure that there's a lot more around, because that's what supports the pregnancy. Okay. Now, if progesterone gets the memo, hey, guys, no egg fertilized. We're going to mow the lawn, but you got to wait 2 weeks. Hold up. We're not doing it just yet. Wait about 2 weeks. And I'm going to sit around and I'm going to supervise. Now, this is where the tricky stuff comes in, because if progesterone waits around and supervises like it's supposed to, most women don't get that drop in progesterone and don't get those PMS symptoms, okay? Because they they have this more that estrogen in the phase of the cycle than they should, unopposed from progesterone. So if progesterone waits around like it should and mows the lawn, then boom, you have a period. Now, this happens every 28, 30 days, okay?
Right.
So remember, from day 1 to day 1 is what we're counting. That is the cycle. Okay, that is where the brain, like Dr. Getting said, your pituitary, I call it the orchestra, it's the conductor of the orchestra. It sends that signal down to the ovaries and the adrenals because there's that HPA axis, the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis and ovary axis, right? And so you have to make sure that connection, that cycle, everybody's talking and listening to the same conductor. Now, testosterone's a little tricky here because we do produce testosterone. We produce testosterone from our adrenals and from our ovaries as well. Testosterone, along with estrogen, has some really big roles too when it comes to the brain health. We know that it helps to keep those neurons nice and plump so it doesn't shrivel up like a little raisin rather, and give us an increased risk for that dementia. And so testosterone also has some anti-inflammatory properties. Testosterone helps us make that lean muscle that's more metabolically active at rest. Yeah, so it does help with that metabolic process. So as we get older and our testosterone starts dropping in our late 30s and our early 40s, and we go into testosterone deficiency syndrome, as well as our progesterone starts dipping before it should, that's when you start getting the hot sweat, night sweats at night. That's when you start getting the belly fat. You saying, wait a minute, I'm not eating any differently. I'm
right. My belly being like, dang,
what happened? And you're
now
like,
you stepping on toes, Dr. Lakeisha.
Okay.
And you're like, I don't want to have sex with my husband, and he's kind of cute. Like, what's going on?
Right.
Because that was my story. I was 41, and life had really beat me up. We had lost two major members of our family. We're a really tight-knit family. Within 10 months of each other, my father had died from complications of a stroke, and then my grandmother, my mother's mother, died 10 months later. And I literally felt like I was in free fall. Like, literally just like, I don't know what's going on, guys. I'm not sure about this. I didn't like my patients anymore. When my pager went off, I was like, what do you want?
Right. I'm having a baby?
Yeah, they're like, she's 5 centimeters. Can you come deliver? No. Tell her, hold it. Close the legs. So those are the big three that I talk about, but I also talk about how your adrenals, your thyroid, and your sex hormones all have to play together nicely in the sandbox. Yeah. But you will not.
Okay. That was so amazing. I am like snapping. That felt like I was at a poetry reading, honey, the way you laid that out. How though, if this all going on inside of here, how can I control that? Like, what am I supposed to be doing?
Oh my God. So, I'm so glad you asked that question. That is a great question.
What the hell?
We've started to put together our healthcare team, right? You started putting together the people that are in your Rolodex of super friends is what I call them, right? Not only that, in part of one of those friends that's in your Rolodex of super friends, your meditation and your mindset coach, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because we know that breath work can literally change the neural circuitry of our brain.
Say that loud though. We don't know. Say it to the brain.
A lot of people don't know.
Breathing
don't nobody know that.
Literally change the neural circuitry of your brain.
And that's not hippy dippy thinking.
No, it's not.
I want to make sure
put that Dr. Ivy is going to be coming
there
on.
Are studies showing breath work can literally change your
Dr.
brain.
Ivy has the study. 40 years. She's going to be coming on. She knows about breathing. She's one of my meditation teachers and how it read something with the endocrine. That's the first time I've ever heard anybody talk about the endocrine and breathing and mindfulness. All of that.
You can literally short circuit the amygdala pathway when it gets started up. And you can short circuit that pathway by breath work and breathing.
Short circuit. Are y'all listening to this, y'all? This is not made up hoopy coopy. What'd you say, Command? It's not hippy whoopy. People think that I went and joined a cult because now I'm a yogi. No, I literally learned I'm not on any more antidepressants. I was taking antidepressants. I was taking Boosprun. I was taking Ativan. I was even taking high blood pressure medicine. They took me off of every single medication, all because I meditate. I learn gratefulness, gratitude, love, traffic control. That hour every hour, we got a chance to take those breaths. And it literally did something to me. Now I still have therapy every week and I still have anxiety. I have social anxiety, and I still, suffer from that. Well, I don't want to say that because Dr. Ivy gonna say don't use those words, suffer. I still experience times where I have anxiety socially, and so that's the part where I'm just kind of like, can you really correct? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Then command wouldn't have a job, but how come it's just never, it's still here?
Well,
Like
I
if
think
you're
that's
Talking about
over that.
oh, I'm sorry. Are you talking about the human condition though?
yeah.
Right?
So,
That's what Keisha, I mean, the human condition. Anxiety is part of human condition.
right.
And it also protects you in a lot of
Exactly.
situations. So you're
Exactly.
not there to have
Right.
anxiety.
Right. We are, it is part of
Yes.
our it's part of our alarm system
Yeah.
that keeps us alive every day.
Correct.
Now, what
Okay.
happens is when it gets put on high alert and you are now revving in second gear. I learned how to drive on a stick shift, so y'all gotta, pardon me. But when you're stuck in that second gear and you hear that engine going, you can't stay there.
No.
Right.
So that's why you need all of this. And so you need all of these different components. Like you said, how do I do this? Well, this is the thing. You listen to shows like this. You get information. You go and you dig into more information for yourself, and what works for you is going to be different for Kim Ann, is going to be different for Dr. Gettings, is going to be different for Jenny, is going to be different for me. And it looks totally different, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's totally okay. Now, I believe that there is a time and a place for medication.
Yes.
That can get you to a certain point, but you need to be willing to do all the other things that we're talking about. You need to be actively looking for the people that need to be on your team so that you don't have to go back there.
That's it. That's it. Okay, so as you know,
only a tool. They're only a tool in your toolbox.
exactly.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Dr.
Oh my
Keith
God.
is
So
right. You need to
our
split.
shows be so good. Y'all know we be talking for like 40 minutes. And my show, the Brain Truth is so good that it should be 5 hours long. But I want to go to let's just fire off some stuff because we talked about menopause, we talked about menstruation. I really want to talk about the motherhood piece and what's happening to us when we become these mothers. Like how we talked about that stuff, but like motherhood is hard. And how are we going to talk to these mothers about this totality of health? We've got our Rolodexes right in front of us. Give us a pathway from here to here so that they can have something in their toolbox, Doctor and Jenny and everybody, because our job here is to try to help somebody. So I need everybody to spend 2 minutes, 1 minute telling us what we need in our toolbox, from motherhood, Jenny, to Mensa and mental health, Dr. Gettings and Command. Then I got to bring in Dr. Ivy and I got to bring in Angie so we can pull it all together.
I always say, well, my personal platform is that motherhood, one of the most important things that you need is community. And community is something that you create and you give, like Dr. Gettings was saying, just like with your body, what you put in is what you get out. And that's the same thing about community. I always joke that everything else you can order from Amazon, community is something you have to build for yourself. And it is the honest to God. It is the honest to God truth, because I do truly believe that while at baby showers, we're looking at all the gifts, we really need to be scanning the room and see who can we really lean on, who can we talk to, who can we call in that moment. And that's always the first thing when I talk to mother. Who is your 2 a.m. call? Who's that person that you can text to? And I have to tell you that some people don't have that person to call. When's the last time you've added to your community? Some people's like, I have not been there for anyone else. And that's okay. That's an honest thing that you can say. And you can't feel bad about it, because as my therapist has told me, is that you can only pour from what overflows out of your cup. And so if your cup is not full, you cannot pour out and over to that. So my question always then is to look at the mirror and then pour into yourself, because that is just as important. So truly having a community, speaking to other parents, speaking to other mothers is going to be the linear thing, meaning we don't have to always look up. We can look right, left. We can look at community right here. And it takes a brave thing because you have to be vulnerable and you have to really be in a setting where you can be honest about what is happening to you
Yes.
and knowing that there is a biological backing behind it. This is not, and that your feelings are truly valid. So if you feel this way, it's okay to say that is a valid and honest thing. And so being vulnerable is a big step, but it's truly important because you can only help what you're really able to put out there. So community,
Beautiful.
I say over and over again, but in my journey of motherhood, it has been the most important thing. And it is different every time. I've had a baby in my 30s. I had a baby after 40. And both the times it was completely different. You would think after the second and third time, Dr. Gaddings, I know you feel the same way. You think, all right, I got this, I got this, I got this. And it's like, okay, this is different. It has new day. Exactly. It has new things. And so leaning on each other. Yeah, my community is the most important thing. And it is always the thing that I encourage mothers to build up for themselves.
About how many mothers you think have come through Mama Fresh in however long?
Hundreds. It is, I mean, it's hundreds. And my biggest bragging right is not any of the shows or any partnerships that I had, but it's also the women that have come through, taken a piece of what I've done, and then made it their own and started their own. So in Chicago, we have Chicago Birthworks, which is a partnership of doulas and Black birth workers. And they all met in one of my events. The thing is, too, is that once you become a community builder and you become in this position, it's a lot of let go of ego because I don't have to do it all. No one is telling me that I have to do it all. I am the plug. I am a connector. God has chosen me that way and it has shaped me that way. And so I plug and connect people. And so my biggest bragging rights are the things that have the seeds that have grown, that people have started their own things in Chicago. And it's so beautiful. And it has happened through the meeting, through my platform.
I love it. Nice. And I love you. And I stalk you on your social media. Okay, next.
Dr. Gaddings and I have been friends for over 20 years.
Yeah, she's a dolphin, honey.
She's like, Mama Fresh, Mama Fresh. You talk to Mama Fresh. I'm like, I'm stalking her first.
Yes.
Okay,
that's an example of community.
Okay, who's going next? Lay it on us.
Well, I'll go. Hey, I'm always one of the things, and remember, I'm strictly mental health, right? And a female advocate, and I do all kinds of work like that. One of the things that concerns me is the feeling of women like they are no longer this person now that they have a baby. They are completely different. I mean, to some degree they are, right? But they spend so much time worrying about who they were supposed to be or what they're supposed to look like that they then feel bad because they think they fall short when they don't, right? Wow. And I saw, and I leaned over to grab this quote, which I thought, I'm just going to share this quote because it's awesome, right?
Okay.
And it says, you don't need to choose between the person you used to be and the person you are now. You shouldn't. Wow. Duty and joy go hand in hand. Duty is there so you can continue to pursue your happiness. Joy is there so that you have something real to fight for. Wow. It is so amazing because women are so busy judging themselves, too much so that they spend no time understanding their own value and what they bring to the children, bring to themselves, bring to their sisters, bring to their brothers. They refuse to look at themselves at how valuable they are, not because they don't want to, but because they feel it's, quote, a sin or isn't acceptable to like yourself and value who you are. I don't know who taught that, even though as women, we are 90% of the nurturers in this United States. And we as women have created this issue for our other women. We need to stop this.
Yeah. Wow. That was beautiful.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful.
I see you, Grant. We're going to have a show about men in June through men's mental health. I'm not ignoring you, but it's like you're going to take us in a whole other direction right now. We talk about periods now. We love you though, Grant, my brain jewel. But Krishana is watching. We needed this Allison Jordan unsee. Facebook user I don't know who that is, but I'm glad Krishan is watching. That's our technical producer, who I know she was waiting for the show, and talking to her, feed into her, because she is a hardworking mother. She's I don't want to tell her story, but here at the Brain Truth, we tell it like it is, and she needed this. She needed this conversation. She really did.
Wow.
Okay.
I just want women to understand that that it's not over.
Mm.
You know, just know that when you get to a certain phase in life, you know, some women feel like Jenny said, it's almost like, oh, and like Kim Ann said, you feel like you have to move, you know, you have to become something new, or you have something is over, it's done. It's almost like now you got to stack on top of. Now you have something else to build onto. You have this foundation. Now let's build onto it. You know, now I'm understanding what women used to say when you turn 40 or you turn 45 or you turn 50, and how life kind of opened up and it blossomed. And it was because you had different lenses on, that you were looking at life differently. But now the second half of this story is that we have to now talk to each other and help us understand that you're not alone in what you're experiencing, and that there is no shame in the symptoms that you're experiencing, because your physiology has changed. You're not crazy. It's just your hormones. Like, seriously. You know, and I don't mean to say it's just your hormone, but it is a physiological process that is truly happening, that has an outward appearance of how it looks every day. So it looks like that woman that says, I don't want to hear my name one more time. Please don't call me. Or the one that used to say yes all the time, and now she's like, no. Well, what's wrong with her? Well, you know, why can't she anymore?
No is a full sentence.
It's a full sentence. And it's saying yes to me.
Boom.
And so I love being able to sit with women and validate what they're experiencing is real.
Thank you.
Then we need to now say, okay, where do we go from here? What tools can I give you? Who in my super friend of my Rolodex of super friends can I reach in and give to you? And how do I help you make your own Rolodex?
Yes.
So that you have you feel that you are now taking care of your community. Like Jenny said, you have now a newer community. Now you got to build another community, or you have to add on to what you already have. So you're not crazy. You know,
I love it.
It's just your hormone.
So thank you. Before you go, Dr. Gettings, I want to get in Dr. Ivy and Angie so we can round it off with our biology and our buffet and our balance. So Dr. Ivy, I know you were back there. You were like, you were holding your head. At one point, I was like, is this, you were just like overloaded. And then Angie, come on in. This is our brain gang, guys. Hi, Angie.
How you
Your brain gang. So Dr. Ivy.
I had oral surgery, so you see me in here.
Oh, you're in pain?
I'm talking to my cells.
You're talking to your system regenerating.
Yes,
so what do you have for our brain balance? I'm going to start with the brain balance, because I think, you know, all of this, you know, kind of was fitting. What is that? Befitting. So what do you have for the brain balance? You've been sitting back there listening.
Well, I've been listening to everything that everyone is saying, and I'm really excited to meet everybody that's on tonight, because all the conversations that we have are so powerful. This particular one rings a special bell, because I was looking around. I said, I think I might be one the elder in the group.
Yeah.
And Mama. We're talking about menopause and the fact that, you know, it started for me 15 years ago and it's still going on. So it is a hormonal situation. But what I was thinking, of course, you know me, I heard that whole piece about communicating, talking, the brain talking to the hormones that Dr. Gettings was talking about. And literally we can do that. And how the body is set up. And when we can look from a spiritual perspective, we're talking about the chakras in the body, or the endocrine glands in the body. And by practicing, when I say yoga, people think of yoga like laying on the mat and exercising, but yoga is just the pose. But we know that the pose and the breath, sleep and rest activates the electromagnetic system in the body. And so when we integrate that, understanding the role, the emotional role of each one of our endocrines, it supports hormonal balance through harmonized chakras. If we harmonize the endocrine system with our brain, with our thoughts, with our intention, we can find that peace. We can communicate with ourselves and create that system of opening. Like
Yes.
when we talk about the menstrual cycle, well, guess what? The chakras are a wheel or a cycle that happens in the body. Like each endocrine is moving, pumping, communicating with each other. We heard Dr. Lakeisha talk about how the body is communicating, and we listened to Dr. Gettings, who was talking about how the amygdala communicates, and what we need to do to shut that regulation off is use our own electromagnetic energy that is in the chakras, or by using yoga, which is connected to how we pose, how we sit, how we move, by using pranayama, which is breathing, which is very powerful. Breath is the free elixir of life, and it is actually what's holding. It's connecting our heart to the rest of the body system. And nidra, which means sleep, also balances the hormones. So we need sleep, deep sleep, the power of restoration of sleep, in order to bring that balance into the hormonal system, because we can literally now know that we can shift and change DNA with our intention.
Wow.
And with our environment. So I say for the mood disorders, we have to boost the immune system, strengthen the heart, increase productivity and concentration with meditation and yoga of the body and yoga of the sleep. Because sleep regulates the melatonin in the body that's released by the pineal gland. And in doing that, the sleep patterns while we are asleep, the pituitary gland releases our healing and growth hormones. So if we're getting into a cyclic or what do I want to call it? I'm just
And
losing.
unapologetically sleep.
Yes,
Because a lot of us have guilt.
that sleep in order to restore and regulate
Sleep.
cortisol in the
Naps.
body. So I
Yes.
believe that we can communicate with our cellular structure and our hormones with our intentions, but we
Yes,
have
ma'am.
to align the entire endocrine system, which is chakra healing.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Ivy. Dr. Ivy, honey. Yes. 2222222. All right, Angie, tell us what's on the brain buffet, honey, today. And you
Brain
look
buffet. I almost forgot I was enjoying this show so much. I forgot that I was here to give a tip for the brain buffet. So everyone is fabulous. Oh my God. It takes a village.
you look good in green, girl. Okay, go.
Oh, thank you. You told me to wear green today, so it's green day.
Okay.
I'm so excited. But I just wanted to say that every single one of you has been a wealth of information tonight, and I have absolutely loved this entire show. I always forget that I have to come on because I'm just a spectator and I'm loving watching it and everything.
Exactly.
Anyway, my brain buffet tip of the day is slow carbs. And slow carbs meaning as opposed to fast carbs, which would be things like green cruciferous vegetables, beans, legumes, things that move slowly into your digestive tract, things that don't raise your blood sugar like a rocket fuel. Slow carbs, the avocados, the good healthy fats. Those are the foods that we should be consuming, since we have control. We don't have control over our hormones, but we definitely have control over what we put into our mouths, right? Every single day.
Yes.
And these are good brain boosting foods as well. So that's my brain buffet tip of the day, slow carbs.
And slow carbs, that helps with the woman stuff?
That helps with it not to raise your insulin levels so high so quickly, because we want to do slow, things that slowly move into the, like we want to slowly glide into menopause, glide into perimenopause,
Oh,
right?
wow.
We don't go in like rocket fuel, right?
Got
And that's what slow carbs do. We're taking us
Low
in
carb.
nice, and
Got
we're gliding like the glamorous, gorgeous girlies that we are, right?
Yeah.
Slow carb.
All right. Got it. Thank you, Andrew, Dr. Gettings. Round it off, honey. Give us what's in the brain, honey. Give us the brain biology. I need to know. I need to know. I need to know.
Well, I think that what really we wanted to educate our audience, our lovely brain jewels tonight, is to really help validate how we feel as women because of our hormonal changes. And I think that we did that. I will say that as a psychiatrist who's worked on inpatient units and seen women who are postpartum, who are hallucinating, who may be suicidal, even infanticidal. I have seen the extremes of what hormonal imbalances do to brain health. But the problem is many of us don't have that exposure or those examples to really understand how your brain can be negatively impacted by hormonal changes. So I will say we really have not expressed how severe it can be. I want you to trust that I have seen it so that you never question for any woman who is here tonight how you're feeling in response to whether it be your menstrual cycle and PMS or just having had a baby and feeling like your life is over and you don't know how you got there, or being menopausal and crying and not knowing why. Whatever those symptoms that you have are, I'm just here to normalize them for you and to also empower you by saying that our society does not help our ability to manage these changes in our bodies. Our capitalist world demands that we go back to work, demands that we not take enough time for ourselves, increases our stress levels, our cortisol, all of those things affect us. And so it does take a village to take care of us, period. And educate yourself about how your body works. It will help you not feel crazy as the said tonight, because we are literally biochemistry.
Yes.
In the moment. In the moment. Beautiful thing, but we gotta make sure that we're giving our body all of the tools that it needs to function properly.
Yes.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. I got chills this whole show, guys. I mean, we need to do this every month, I think. Like we need to do a woman's thing every month. I want to thank my guest tonight. I learned so much about it. I hope you, Brangels, had some takeaways tonight. And I just want to say something to the men, Brangels. I mean, this was a show about women, but as long as we keep this conversation of normalizing what's happening in our bodies and, all this stuff about, oh, she on her period, oh, you must be, this and that, those are insults. Those are things that we have to start eradicating out of your mouth. And when we need your support with the kids, or if we want to take a nap, or we know our bodies need to be rest, like they said, or, you got to play this game with us in life. We did on AC Green, we talked about motherhood and the fact that we bring forth life. 9 months, we're bringing forth humankind, right? And then we need to be around to do that mentally. So help us out, brothers. Okay. All right. So anyway, that ended our show. Oh my God, we could just go on and on and on and on and on. But if you want to get in touch with any of our incredible guests, especially, oh my God, Mama Fresh, honey. I'm gonna be getting in touch with you just because I want to. But if you want to get in touch with Jenny LaFleur, aka Mama Fresh, here she is, Jenny at mamafreshchicago.com. And then find her on IG at Mama Fresh Shy. And of course, if you want to get in touch with Dr. Lakeisha, she is amazing. I love her. She's now a Brain Gang member. All of these are Brain Gang. I don't care. They are. And I'm going to send them the application. But this is how you can find her, is at Dr. Lakeisha MD. That's Dr. Lakeisha MD. Info at drlakeishamd.com. Mental Health Matters. And then I think we lost command. I don't know what happened, but you know, she's amazing. This is how you get in touch with her. Screenshot this, write this down, 708-798-5433. Oh my God, what a great show today. Woo, Mental Health Awareness Month. So next week, though, we're going to keep these conversations going as we celebrate mental health awareness. So next week is going to be another really good conversation. We're going to talk about heartbreak or brain break. Is it our hearts that are hurting, or is it something going on with our brains? So anybody who's ever felt a heartbreak, a loved one or friends or anything, join us in this incredible conversation. Okay. See you guys next week. Let's ready ourselves for our brain bliss. Dr. Ivy. Let's take a deep cleansing breath. And remind yourself, I am a peaceful soul. I am a pure soul. I am capable. I desire to heal. And the power is right here within me. I am open to being authentic. I am open to letting go. Letting go of ego, anger, and attachment. I am open to forgiveness. I am okay. I desire mental, physical, and emotional awareness. I will receive love and give love freely. I am open to a deeper connection to Source. I desire clarity, calm, and pure mindfulness. I am okay. I am love. I am love. Thank you, Brangels. And remember, repair, reclaim, renew. And that's the brain truth. See you next week.
Vibrations of love. And some say love is a verb. But much deeper than that, love is a vibration. It is that energy that stirs the soul and opens up the heart. Vibrations of love call out to the divine that connects us with the beauty of life and the oneness of it all. I need not to say it with words, although it is always nice to hear. But greater still is to feel it, Vibrations of love lift me higher, and I fill the empty spaces within the soul. It is the divine in its purest essence. It is me at the height of my being. I am vibrations of love.